Stacie Zinn Roberts, and I'm the host of Live Your Passion. I am here today with Mayor Jill Boudreau.
Hello.
Hi. Jill is the mayor of the city of Mount Vernon in the Pacific Northwest, and the reason that we're here with her today is because she has a very innovative methodology of leadership, and I just had to share her with you. When you came into the city, you completely changed the culture.
Right.
And you led with a culture of kindness.
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I think, so for me, my background, I have some very beautiful people in my life who have given me great examples. And so my grandfather was one. I talked about him when I was sworn in, that he was always a man with kindness and dignity for everybody that he met. And so his life was so successful, and the leadership he provided in his job and his church and his life was the inspiration for what I felt that I could do. Having politics be so contentious now, I truly believe that I could give an example of a leader that didn't have to be like that, but that could show how we could lead government in a way. And I think the word kindness to some people is wimpy, but if you've ever tried to be kind to someone who is not being nice to you or doesn't share your viewpoint, it is pretty hard to do. And that coupled with dignity. I believe dignity is a big part of leadership.
And you, within the way that you speak to your staff and the way that you request that staff speak to the constituency,
right? But
also the way you expect the constituency to speak to the staff.
You bet.
Talk about that.
That's a huge thing, I think, for our community to know that our staff does their best every single day, that they give it 100%. You know, they're asked to provide a service to the public. They're asked to do it in a kind and dignified manner, but we do require that to come back.
Mm-hmm.
I think there have been times when we model that, and if people really respond really positively to that, our public really does. And in the instances where they haven't, to respond to the negative behavior to us, maintaining the kind and dignified way and information has, I think, transformed some people who would otherwise think they had to be kind of nasty all the time.
And so it's changed the tone in the city and for the residents as well.
I think it has. I mean, that's the feedback that I get from the community. I hope that's what's happening. I have had really mostly positive experiences with our community for the last 2 years, and I'd like to think that it's because of what we're trying to model.
How do you do that? Give me some examples.
Well, I think, so I offer a mayor's coffee every week. So every single week I am open door somewhere in the city for an hour, and we just answer any questions anyone has. I think it's important that I'm engaged as possible to our community and answer their questions. Mm-hmm. And I think that builds a lot of trust. And people see that that's how I am, which is nice. Mm-hmm. I've tried to be very kind and dignified with other elected officials as well when there's really contentious subjects. And that's a little hard sometimes, but you're committed, and I'm hoping that's rubbing off as well. Mm-hmm. So those are some small examples.
Those are good. Those are good examples. I've been to some of your coffee with the mayor, and it is really effective. You listen to everyone in the room and are respectful of their questions and answer them as much as you can, the best that you can.
Yeah, I think that's my job.
Yeah, it's good. And I have heard you talk, Jill, about the difference between being a politician and being a leader.
Yes.
Can you address that?
Yes. I think the word politician has a very negative connotation, and I did a talk about that this is nothing really new, even though maybe sometimes it feels like we're much more partisan and angry in this country about politics. But it really stems, our forefathers were part of this mud, raking type of thing. Mm-hmm. But I don't understand why we have to do that. My grandfather never did. I never heard him say an unkind word about anybody, even in contentious issues. I don't think it serves a purpose to be at each other's throats or insult each other personally. It doesn't do anything. Humans respond to kindness and dignity. Humans want to work through problems if they feel respected. And so to me, I believe that it's a leadership quality that we should insist upon with our elected officials, especially. And I don't think that we have to be politicians. We don't have to play that political game. We can just be leaders and problem solvers and make things better for people we're serving. That's what we're elected to do.
Wouldn't that be wonderful if everybody did that?
It'd be easier for me.
Be good. Yeah. So, where did this come from for you? As far as you have a diverse background, I should have kind of filled in the audience a little bit.
Yeah.
She's done a lot of different things. Before you were mayor,
Right.
you worked in community outreach for the city. Do you want to
the
tell
police
us?
department.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. You tell.
So I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life until I think I was 40. Or wait, when did I run for office? 43. So I was a military wife, and we traveled all over the place, and I never had a career, like a traditional career path in anything. I always knew that I was good in leadership, and I thought I would be a small business owner, to tell you the truth. So when we moved to Mount Vernon, my husband had retired from the military, and I had to find a job because he was going back to school. So I started as a receptionist at the police department, and had never worked in government before. Never worked in law enforcement before. That was totally foreign to me. And from there, I then was in crime prevention as a community service officer with our police department, and then worked in hospice briefly while I then campaigned for this job. So I think I came into this role much different than my peers around me that are elected officials, with, I think, a lot different perspective and some background in actual community outreach and working in the community.
Mediation as well. You're a trained mediator.
True.
Yeah, which is really helpful in politics.
Right. And so a lot of my life experience, I think, had led me to this point. And being a certified mediator really helped a lot in my role in the police department, mediating neighborhood disputes. And so I also volunteered with small claims court to help resolve those conflicts. And so I think I bring a different skill, maybe in a different perspective than some others. And I think that's a big skill that we should look for in our leaders, whether it's elected or not, is conflict resolution skills.
Because what you have to collaborate with other forms of government. You have to
do.
You have to play nice.
Yes.
To
Well,
get
you don't
what you
have to, but you should realize that you should in order to accomplish things. Right.
Yes,
Sorry.
partnerships are good. I just love her. So, okay, I want to talk about how you knew that you were supposed to do this. I created the What's Your Avocado concept that says that everyone is special. Everybody has something about them that's special. And we call that
true.
We call that your avocado. You even have the right color on today.
I like avocado green.
It's great. So the key is to identify that element and act on it. So take me, Jill, to your avocado moment, that aha moment when you knew what you were here to do and how you were going to do this.
Well, I think I have to be really honest. I think I've been blessed. There's been a couple different avocados in my life, right?
Okay.
But the one that led me here to the police department. See, I still think I worked there. I'm getting used to being the leader of the city. Is different. I think I was so disenchanted with the leadership that was being shown in our community, and you hear that, I think, a lot from folks who step up to do this. And I kept thinking, my goodness, if those types of people can lead, then I could certainly do this, and I could do a better job. And the avocado moment actually came, and I'll be totally honest with you, at a bunco party with ladies, and after a few glasses of wine. It was like, oh my gosh, I should do that, and I can do that. And then that's where the conversation started and the preparation started for a campaign. And then now I sit here.
Wow.
That's great. Maybe not the most poetic, but that's the honest truth. So
The most real. It's a real answer. That's good. And in your job, you certainly exude that you live your passion.
Oh yeah,
You do.
It's amazing. It's an amazing job to have, and I think it's incredibly satisfying because it's service-oriented, but then you get to see the fun things and the wonderful things that you do to make a difference. You get to see it happen, and you have this amazing staff that carries this out, but then you have the community that rallies behind you to just, go, make it happen. And so it's awesome. Awesome job.
See why she's on the show. So what advice would you give to other people who want to live their passion?
I think I became comfortable in my own skin in the last 6 years or so, and it took a while for me. My daughter's 20 and she's in nursing school, and she's wanted to be a nurse since she was 6, and I thought that's so unusual to have people that know what they want to do and be comfortable. But for me, I think it took me a little while to feel comfortable in the role of leadership, and that yes, I am talented in this and I can do it.
And that's not, there's no conceit there, just that you're comfortable. It's okay to say, I'm good at something.
Right, exactly. It really is. And to step out and not let the naysayers tell you you can't. I was a surprise candidate to a lot of people around here, and I was authentic enough, I think, in my campaign, and people, for whatever reason, voted for me. And so I think that, yeah, if you settle into yourself, and you're comfortable with yourself in a very modest way, I mean, everyone is special, and so that but you have to understand that you are too. So that would be my advice.
That's such good advice.
Oh, thanks.
It is. It's such good
Listen
advice.
to myself sometimes when I'm feeling down. But that's why I have you to watch.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
How can we let people contact you? Okay.
So Mount Vernon, Washington, we have a website, mountvernon.gov, and on there you can send in comments. You can email me directly. There's my email link there, and I would love to hear from people. I would love to see if they have ideas for the city. That's a big thing for me, near or far. I'm happy to borrow great ideas.
Sure.
Or if you have some thoughts, would love to hear from people. I think that's a part of our being a community, is listening to each other. So.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jill.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm Stacie Zinn Roberts, and this has been Live Your Passion. Bye.
Bye.